back. Coming at you from Submarine Studios. This is Season 2 of Rage Across the Internet. I'm your host, Porter. To my left, we still have producer Joey.
Hey, guys.
Looking right across from me, we've got the man himself, Tommy Dixon.
What's up?
And to my right, back from quarantine.
Yep.
In studio, once again, for Season 2, we have Donald Tyson. How's it going, Big D?
What the fuck, dude?
Big D.
I'll take Big D. That's cool.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, damn it. Damn it. Okay.
He just walked right into that.
Mouth wide open.
Oh, my
Little
God.
red bow on that one.
Hey, everybody.
And that's how we're starting Season 2.
Yeah,
Look at
of course
that.
we are.
Well, episode 2
Well,
of season
yeah.
2.
Well, but we established is that the last one was virtually identical to Season 1 because we didn't want to be here after New Year's to record. So here we are after New Year's recording.
Funny how that works.
It's amazing how that works out.
But see, there wasn't the pressure,
Yeah.
you know?
No, so we didn't have to record in between Christmas and New Year's. That was what it was.
Well, yeah, well, it was the I think I really didn't want to get my drunk ass out of bed. After New
Yesterday?
Year's. Yeah, I thought I'd still be hungover.
I mean,
That's
that's
fair.
a fair bet. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was against it, but shit.
You rallied. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
fine.
Yeah. And we're all back, so that's good.
Yep.
Go team.
We all survived.
Yeah.
Woo.
Quarantine sucks.
But you're here.
I'm here. Thank
You know?
God.
4 of us in studio. You know, how you like that Season 2 music, by the way?
I love it.
You picked it.
Happy
Yeah.
with it.
Did you happen to see the name of it?
I did not.
Yeah, it's called Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So that
It's
doesn't,
very fitting.
I don't know what makes you say that, but I like it, you know. No, I hope you guys do too, because that was last season music. The old stuff was last season music. It's going to stay last season.
So
If
now
you
got 12
hate
months
it,
of enjoying this one.
All right?
If
Or
you
until we get
hate
bored,
it-
maybe 6.
write in and let us know.
Yeah, maybe we'll... If enough of you hate it, we might change it to something else, but Season 1 is in the past. We're what's now.
See, this way, if we don't get anybody writing in, we can just assume they love it.
Well, I'm going to do that anyway.
Unless 47 of you write in and say you hate it.
47 specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Okay.
specific. Because if 48 say it, guess what?
Well, that's just
Null
the
and void.
bandwagon. Yeah.
Too bad.
Null and void.
45 is not enough.
48's too much?
Yeah, it's a fad at that point. People are just
Okay.
doing it to be cool.
47 is the magical number.
Almost random ass number.
You talked to Donald.
Who's Donald?
You are. Did you fall and hit your head?
Apparently.
He's got some sort of brain deformity.
I think you gotta start cloning Danny's.
That's
don't-
not a bad idea.
I don't know. You ever see that Multiplicity with Michael Keaton,
No.
where they do the
The
clone
more
of the
there
clone?
are, yeah, the more there are, the stupid they are.
Well, yeah, when they did the clone of the clone, he was all like, "I like tacos." I kind of feel that that's going to be the baseline.
The baseline?
Danny, do you like tacos?
I love tacos.
See, case
Point.
boom.
Yep.
Let's get the fuck on this episode.
Season
Jesus.
2.
Hey,
Not
in
Donald.
studio. We get to poke fun at you.
Yeah, well,
This is-
at least I'm in studio.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. So yes, here we are, Season 2. A few changes here and there. We will be doing some new stuff, believe it or not. We've got an interview that's gonna not too far in the future. I don't want to spoil anything, but that'll be a fun time.
It's not a spoiler, it's a teaser.
Well, it is now. It's a spoiler if we say who it is,
Right.
but we're pretty excited about that.
Yes, definitely.
There's going to be a few. You'll see some new segments as we go this year, and something that's very important to us. Is, and we've talked about it before, but you're going to hear a lot more of it. So prepare to just get sick of hearing the phrase. We're going to ring the bell. We're good enough is not good enough. So we're going to be doing some new things. We're going to be trying some new angles at some old stuff, and we're going to be digging deeper on the shit we've already covered. So if you've walked away from an episode going, man, that was fine and all, but I wish you would have talked more about it, you're probably going to hear more about it this year. More practical applications of things. A couple what we might want to call gimmick episodes. where we're going to kind of team up on a task.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gimmick, then, yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to call that, but, there's a point to it. It will be helpful to some people. Hopefully it will be entertaining, because Jesus Christ.
It's always entertaining.
Right, but,
Because if it's not, what the hell are we still doing here?
Well, and like you said, if you have more to an episode that you wanted to hear, write in about it.
please
Yeah.
write it about it.
Please, because, we're definitely going to revisit everything.
RageAcrossPodcast@gmail.com is the best way to do that. The best way.
The
Because,
second best way, get on our Discord and come talk to us.
which is not in stone yet, but might be made available outside of the forums coming up. Just for
Maybe.
ease.
Maybe.
That's not finalized, but maybe. But we definitely do want to hear from you. I mean, this is a weekly show, guys. It's not that we're out of stuff to talk about, but not everything can make a show, or not everything will occur to us. So if there's something you're like, hey, you should talk about this, and how have you never mentioned it, then hit us up.
We're not mind readers.
Right? We might get there eventually, but
Yeah, if you want to hear it sooner, then tell us.
right? we want to talk about this stuff, just sometimes. But yeah, if you've been to the website lately, and thank you for doing so, maybe check in on us a bit more often. We're going to try to keep some updates coming quicker these days, but you will notice the store is in fact gone.
Bummer.
And as promised, it's a temporary measure. But like we said before, there was some inventory issues, there was some shipping issues, we weren't happy with the vendors.
Yeah.
So, I stand by the product. It was still good
Oh,
product.
it was great product.
But what's the point if they can't keep it in stock?
Right.
Yeah, we had a great coffee cup.
Yeah.
We had a great
That's
coffee
awesome.
cup. I can talk about it now. The hurt's over. That beautiful fucking coffee cup we demoed on Facebook. We were all in love with it. And the vendors sold out of that type of mug the day we went live with the damn store. We had to cancel orders.
Yeah, we canceled them.
Like, that was,
Yeah.
it was like it was over the line. It was they still have not restocked those cups.
Such bullshit.
So if you can't get us the product, we got to find someone who will. So stay tuned. We'll keep you on board for that. And we don't know that we don't know what's going to be in that future store. There will be a future store.
But it'll be, season 2 merchandise.
Yeah. It will probably won't be the same stuff. And we are working on, we want international shipping is going to be important to us.
Right.
Because we have heard you.
Yes.
And we looked into the prices ourselves, and that's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
So it is being worked on. We have been asked. Yes.
We are going to find a world where shipping to Germany does not cost $50 for a coffee cup. That's not how we want to do. That's not how we're doing business. We're laughing.
Right.
But
That
it's
was the
truth.
real number.
Yeah. It's the truth.
It's a little ridiculous. It's a coffee cup.
Right?
Right?
But it was seriously $65 for a coffee cup. Who?
Yeah.
I hope this is the best damn coffee cup ever.
It doesn't matter. It could make
needs
coffee.
to heat itself. It needs to stir the coffee for me and heat itself.
No, you can have a button on the side that just apparated coffee in it,
Nice.
and it still wouldn't be worth the cost.
Right?
I don't know. I think I'd pay $65 for that.
I don't know.
We got to pay for the cup too.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
See?
Yeah, right.
As long as it's got Rage Across the Internet on it.
Okay, moving on.
Yes. Well, we got a few
Yeah,
things, so
yeah.
we'll make sure we don't forget anything.
Okay.
But moving on, do you have a?
No, I just,
you just shoved me off that ledge.
Yeah.
Ah.
Just
Kicked you over that ledge.
Yeah, a little Wile E. Coyote.
That wasn't a little nudge. That was a kick.
Yeah, it was. She's just a drop kick. She's just.
She sparted that.
keeping things moving.
She pointed that out like Babe Ruth too. She's just calling her shot.
Oh, yeah. Home run.
He's going over that fence, that asshole.
Staying still.
Just
Leg
doing
back.
my job.
Just lean into the pitch.
Well, we would love you to see the site. If you haven't been there, please show up. Check out our forums. We got some cool stuff on those forums. Some decent tools, some stuff from the old Nocturnus.net days, some really interesting character essays or ideas or different spins on things. There's an alternate write-up for the Get, which is pretty interesting on there. One of our storytellers, Strides, has done at least one tribe book review.
Yeah.
I know he got kind of waylaid and stuff, and that put a pause on, but I don't know if that's continuing. But there's a place you can post reviews of stuff if you want. Help your fellow gamer.
And that's neat.
You know, yeah, you got ideas of an alternate take of something or a better way to do so, go ahead and post them on the forums. That's what it's there for. It's a resource for everyone to help improve their game.
Yeah, you don't need our permission.
Oh, hell no.
Just go for it.
You know, we do have that game finder there that we're going to revisit how we go about that this season.
Okay.
So that, you haven't heard the last of it, but we're going to shut up about it briefly.
Ever so briefly.
Ever so briefly.
Just wait till next episode.
You know, you might see a new link there on our homepage
Cool.
with a very, very damn useful link. But we'll talk about that in the future also. It's there already, though. But it's our little corner of the internet. It's our little sept. We'd love you to be a part of it. It means a lot to us. We put work into it, and we want to share it with you. Same as our Discord. We've got a great group of people there. You know, shout out to each and every one of you guys.
It's getting bigger each time, too. It's awesome. Each new member, we love seeing that each new member and getting a little shout out for them. And hey, you guys want questions here answered on air, send them in. We'll give you a shout out for it, too.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and it's great to see that community build, and whether it's, you know, being goons and, you know, joking around or having gift wars or talking different sorts of pop culture or werewolf questions. You know,
All the above.
We got a game, 2 games running out of there. You know, maybe there's room for more. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. But it's a community we've built. We want you to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. You know, so come join us, hang out. What's the worst that can happen?
Oh, don't say that.
Well, I just wasn't going to say the worst that can happen. I know what the worst
okay.
thing that can happen is, but we'll keep an eye on Danny.
What? Damn it.
You're Donald.
I'm sorry. We'll keep an eye on Donald.
Yeah,
Is that better?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
You said Donald, I heard him. He
Yeah.
just ran
We
by the back
didn't
like
put
that.
duck.
You trying to get us sued? Be a lawyer dressed up like Captain America up here any minute now. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, boy.
Got a point.
Okay, maybe we should get on our topic today.
Maybe we should. And today we decided we would talk about the Metis.
Dun,
Which-
dun, dun.
Which
Depends.
seems kind of odd. Because we didn't do a Hamid, and we're not going to do a Hamid.
Because we are?
And we might, but I don't have plans to right now. This isn't like a series. We're just going to talk about Metis.
Right.
Fuck it.
All right. Why not?
Well, you know, it's an interesting breed. It's an interesting choice to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the advantages, disadvantages, great. But, you know, it's something I think we all have something to say about to some level.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we can just have a discussion about them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what this whole show is. So,
Discussions.
fucking spoilers.
What episode are we on if you haven't figured that out by now?
Right? Well, maybe they just jumped in and this is their first episode.
Maybe, in which case, hey, welcome
Welcome.
to the show.
I'm sorry.
Gets better or worse depending on how you feel about the opening.
Oh.
Here we go.
Now, I guess before we start, and I know Danny wants to talk about this,
Yeah.
and I was gonna, but Danny wants to, and so I want him to. Danny's gonna get this one. There's a little bit of
Controversy?
I don't want to use the word controversy, but there's a discussion going on in some corners of the internet that.
Several corners of the internet, different in different sides of it. And
The thing is I feel the discussion should probably stop,
Right.
and we'd like to help facilitate that. And so, Danny, you've got a little something, and I believe you found this in Player's Guide 3, Player's Guide to the Garu?
I believe it is. I don't remember exactly, but I took a screenshot of it, and I will read the words exact off of the book,
Okay.
just to prove
Daniel Tyson, ladies and gentlemen.
what the problem is and the point in the solution.
Okay.
So, from the book, it is the Métis versus Metis. Just in case you didn't know, there's a significant difference between the Metis, phonetically spelled Metis, and the Métis, phonetically spelled Métis. The former is, of course, the Garou breed. The latter is an ethnic group of mixed American Indian and European blood. So for those still calling it Métis,
It is not.
stop it! Just stop!
Well, and to be clear, if you've never, the words, the difference between how those are spelled is the addition of an accent.
There's an accent over the E in
Métis.
Métis.
Okay.
And so there's I hate to use the word controversy, but the discussion going on is that the Metis breed should be renamed because they are confusing it with the Métis.
Because of an accent mark.
Yes.
Yes. And that
Two
accent
different words are
marks
similar.
makes it two different words.
Okay. Yeah.
You see, and
Yeah.
that's right from the book.
And if it is Player's Guide 3, which I'm almost positive it is, that's what, 20 years ago?
Yeah, it's about 20 years old. So White Wolf has heard you. They heard your case, and they solved it for you 20 years ago. So hopefully we can put this to bed, that those are two different words and they mean two different things.
And again, it is phonetically spelled in that blurb.
So hopefully that can be the end of this. It's not gonna be. Hopefully this will be the end of this issue. But I
So-
enjoyed the fact that White Wolf has squashed this beef decades ago. Possibly longer than some of these people have been mad about this.
So White Wolf actually addressed an issue and definitively solved it?
Yes.
It's not the first time. Maybe the third.
Okay.
So now I'm curious what the other two are.
Puppy mills are bad.
Oh, true. Yeah, no. I remember reading that.
That was in Book of the Wild.
Yep, that was in Book of the Wild.
Don't do a puppy mill.
Don't buy from puppy mills, yes.
Well, don't do one either.
But, yeah.
I mean, they didn't say don't make a puppy mill.
But it's implied.
I feel like if they're like, don't buy
heavily
from them,
implied.
they're like, don't set up one.
Right.
don't create one.
Right.
Let's not go there.
And, don't buy...
Seventh generation
Cleaning
anything?
products?
Yeah, maybe that. That they probably didn't say that.
Seventh generation is bad is more what they said.
And deforestation isn't a good thing.
Maybe, yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
There have been a few things over the years, but they don't often come out with a definitive look. This is it. So shop.
Well, and they really almost never come out with a definitive pronunciation.
No, that's true. And I think, this was them. This is White Wolf being White Wolf. Trying to, I'm sure, jump the gun at that point. Because I never heard any
hadn't-
complaint
yeah.
way back then. But it was them
It's not
knowing
till
that
recently.
the people who ignored accent marks and that they have a meaning
Yeah, that's true.
would confuse Metis and Métis and think it was being disrespectful to a culture when in fact they're two different words.
And not disrespectful whatsoever.
Right.
Just not the same.
Right. With the accents, it's a different thing. Cat and bat, those are similar. We know the difference. So the point is to know the difference. And
if
if
you
no one's
didn't-
being disrespected,
Yeah.
maybe someone's angry about my saying this.
So, if
So
didn't
maybe
know
you
the
were, but
If
that's
you
not
didn't know the
personal.
difference, you do now.
Yeah.
Well, okay, for the Cubs out there, what is the Metis?
Oh, I guess we should have started with that, huh?
No, I'm okay with how we started.
Yeah, I
All right.
am
Because
too.
we ripped
but-
off that Band-Aid.
Yeah.
So, the Metis
Fair.
is, it's the result of two Garou breeding. And the thing is, of course, is that offspring is always a Garou, 100% chance. Mm-hmm. But is also always deformed in some way and
Yes.
is always sterile.
100% of the time.
All of the percents there are.
And that's why their nickname is,
Mule.
yes, because they are sterile.
Mule
Sorry.
makes it sterile?
Mules are sterile.
I did not know that.
Then how do we get more mules?
Yeah.
Because
Donkeys.
it's a crossbreeding.
Thanks for playing.
Oh,
I learned
boy.
something.
You could have said anything in the world. Anything. And it would have been
No.
better.
Then the truth?
You could have said a wizard did it.
Wizard.
You could have said chemical spill. You could have said, ask Danny, have you seen his basement?
Oh!
Oh.
Whoa!
But you chose the
No,
truth.
she hasn't, by the way.
Mexican drug cartels.
See, anything. Any answer.
Mules.
But then I wouldn't have learned a thing.
You
Wait
would have
till
learned a
later.
thing anyway. It just would have been wrong.
It's funny
So-
you think I believe half the crap that comes out of your mouth.
Oh, I don't think for a second you believe half the crap that comes out of my mouth. Are you kidding? I have to re-listen to the podcast to hear I don't listen when I talk. I don't want to hear this dumb shit. I find out on podcasting like everybody else.
Nice. I said
lucky
that.
Sometimes.
Oh, it's like this is the section just for the fans out there.
Yeah. Everyone else is annoyed.
Right, yeah, no, really, yeah. There's like 15, 20 people laughing their asses off. And everyone's going, "Will you just talk about fucking werewolf?"
Okay, if they're not fans and they're listening, are they like hate listening?
I watched all of Hemlock Grove.
I am so sorry.
I mean, so this shit exists.
Okay, if you're hate listening, hit me up on Twitter at Rage Across. I want to know.
Oh, and do it because she's the one. She's the one to talk to about that.
So back to the Metis.
Yes. So in the Metis are obviously they're a controversial issue in the Garu Nation.
Right.
And why is that, Danny?
Well, one, it's breaking the litany.
And it's the first
tenet
it's the
of the
first
litany.
fucking rule. You couldn't pass one.
I didn't know how to read.
Garu shall
Well,
not
do you know
mate
how to
with
count?
Garu.
I don't know how to do that either.
Okay.
He was an early changer.
Gotcha.
I didn't make.
Or
it
he was
to
a dumb
school.
kid.
I didn't go to school.
Okay. Well, and then, that's something to say about the Metis.
Because
Is
they're raised in
Sept.
Sept.
They
in
are
the nation,
born in Krynos.
which is gotta be freaky.
Well, it's especially bad for the
I'm
mother.
about to say, wouldn't that kill her?
Well, the mother, if she is given birth to a Metis, she gives birth in Krynos form for survivability.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep. You don't want to be in lupus for that one.
I don't think you want to be in any form but Krynos for
No, but I feel like lupus is the smallest. That's like the worst version.
But okay, so go with glasswalkers for a minute. If they know she's pregnant with a Metis, can't they just do like a cesarean? The glasswalkers would have the resources for that.
Well, I'm not a baby doctor.
Thank God.
You'd use a coat hanger.
It started out bad and got so much worse.
Oh, I'm so proud of you for that joke.
That's not how those work.
That's how Porter would make it work.
I know.
Oh, fuck.
Scrambled egg.
Oh,
I'm so proud you went there.
Couldn't help it.
I thought I was the only one with the sack to go there.
I can hear radios just clicking off.
Right. Season 2, the end of... It's our last episode, folks.
It's just the end of me, probably.
Fuck all that. That was... No.
You're sticking around.
Yeah, we're
kid.
gluing you to that fucking chair.
Oh, good. You don't have to clone this one.
Yay!
That's... Finally, we gotta keep her.
I know.
For now.
Well, that's a good question. And I've never heard that question before.
Or would you have any idea how to answer it?
Well, I'm going to speculate.
Okay.
Because, again, I am not a baby doctor. But I would imagine that, this is a baby Krynos.
Yeah.
Let's make this clear. It's a little baby cub Krynos form. Mm-hmm. And I would imagine claws and fangs and all.
Right.
So, is there a point where the claws and fangs have maybe developed, but the rest of the body hasn't?
Or vice versa?
No. Because then why would it be a danger?
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, if you stop and you think about it from a biology perspective, the healing factor for the mother, she'd probably have to be in Krynos.
Yeah, it says it right in the book.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is for that whole last month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is noted that with pregnant Garu, that they have to spend the third trimester in the form of which this baby is going to be.
Gotcha.
Creepy.
Boy, walking around in Krynos for the third trimester.
Yeah.
All those pregnancy hormones, and then,
Oh.
and then the rage. And then the little demon inside you literally trying to claw its way out. I mean, oh, look, the baby's kicking. See the claws here?
Oh, look, claws just happened to sprout out there.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the baby will just do its own C-section at that point.
It's my thing is, perhaps it's not developed enough to survive on its own until point X.
And it's not like they got the incubators to hold the baby Krynos.
Well, maybe the glasswalkers
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, I
why
mean,
she brought
you
up
could make the point is
Glasswalkers.
if they could do I guess a G section at that point, because it's Garu.
Yeah. I mean, you want to be cutting open a Krynos?
Probably not.
Well, it actually, while we're on it, if we're gonna go that far, why doesn't the mother just do it?
It's true.
And maybe they have.
Yeah, fucking soak it. Just get the thing out of you.
Just don't cut her open with silver.
Spend a reach point.
Yeah. How about we don't do that? Like, no.
It's an interesting question. I've
really
never-
is.
Yeah, that is an interesting, very interesting take on that.
It's like, I mean, you read about, like, Metis babies killing the mother.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure that
quite
happens way more
frequently.
often.
Yeah, Krynos or no.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I think if I were in the unenviable position, like, go to somebody who can take care of that. And, you'd think the glasswalkers would have that capability. Especially seeing how, like, the closer you get to the apocalypse, the Metis are treated as just an extra soldier.
Well, the mileage still varies by tribe. I mean, let's be clear. By and large, the nation, the Metis are treated like garbage.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
In general, yes. As
Yeah.
a nation as a whole, they're just, what's the word?
reviled.
No.
No, that's not a bad word, depending on
And
the
then
tribe.
maybe it is. Monstrosity. Or obscenity.
Obscenity is a better word, yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Yes, that's,
Abomination. That's what
That's a different thing
That's
entirely.
a different thing entirely.
But why punish the child when it was the parents that made the mistake?
Which, and again, depending on the tribe, they are. And also depending on what era.
Well, I get it, but why punish the child? It didn't choose that.
because the world is flawed.
Yeah.
And this is the world of darkness.
This is true.
Yeah, that's I think
know?
that's the bigger point right there.
Why is it when someone has been cheated on, right? More often than not, the anger is directed at the person they cheated with.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I see where your point is there.
It's
But I also
not
look
that
at it
dude's
as,
fault
okay,
he met a girl at a club. He didn't know. The
It's
girlfriend,
the
however,
whore.
absolutely knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also look at it as you can raise a tank, essentially. You can raise from a child to whatever, they can be born into this and raised as just a tank.
And that's a good point, but I will also point out that, Gaia society is also a deeply religious one. I mean, Gaia is,
I mean, the apocalypse is coming though, we need the numbers.
Sure. But what I'm saying is, Gaia is a real thing. They worship Gaia. You look at the totem spirits. There's a level of worship, of reverence, and that Metis child is an affront to Gaia. It was her first fucking rule, dude.
Yeah. I get it.
Agree or not, but you got to that's a part of it. And again, not every tribe. The children of Gaia will take in literally anything. I think there's a sept somewhere in Nevada that has a coffee maker as a leader of the Guardian pack. They will take in anything.
Same with the Bonars, they'll accept.
Yep.
They're very highly accepting of the Metis.
Well, look at the Big Mac wrapper pack of of Rhode Island.
The what?
It's just a bunch of Big Mac wrappers.
Oh, okay.
They'll take in anything. Rad was fine with it. There was some cheese. It was fine.
Okay.
No, but I mean,
But, like,
what a ridiculous statement.
It was.
Like how I doubled down off the coffee maker thing. Like that wasn't enough.
but then, like, the Black Furies.
Who will take... They'll keep the male Metis even.
Yes.
But only the male Metis.
Well, the female ones are in front of Gaia.
Right.
We haven't hit that one in the series yet.
Yeah.
I'm just speculating.
Okay.
We'll get
But-
there.
Like, the Black Furies, the only males in the tribe
Yes,
are
are
the
Metis.
Metis.
Yeah.
The
the rest of them are thrown away.
Yeah,
Other- give it to the-
dumpster?
It's not prom
To be
night.
found by a bone gnar.
I was gonna say 90% of them go to the Bonars, right?
Show the guy.
Children of Gaia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a,
They have a much better relationship.
yeah.
Okay.
They say, you know, we have this male child, here you go, Children of Gaia. So it's, you know, it keeps the males in the nation, whether they breed true or not.
And it helps buff the children guys' numbers.
Yeah,
Because,
they're everywhere.
and there's, you know, well, there's not a lot of Garrow at all. But at the same time, you know, the Stargazers aren't really in a position to turn anyone down. The
Right.
Actina generally take on the Misfits anyway. The Geta Fenris don't give a fuck as long as you can do the work.
Yeah. Are you strong enough to do the job?
Yeah,
okay,
and
fine.
it's like the Metis, they're looked down upon, but a lot of tribes take them. Say, come on over here.
Now, there's a point to where beggars can't be choosers, and hey, there's the other side of that too. To where if Stag says you're Fianna, look, you can argue with Stag.
Now, I had a
No.
question about that. Like, okay, so they're born in Krynos, they're raised in
Sept.
Sept, Cairn, you know, they're raised in the nation.
Yes.
When do they get a totem?
Well, I mean, theoretically, the same point as everyone else does when they're ready for the rite of passage, but obviously those ages differ between the different breeds. To where hominids around puberty, I think, and don't quote me on these, but I think with the lupus it's about 2.5 years old,
Okay.
and I believe with the Krynos, with the Metis, it's anywhere between 6 months and 3 years
Okay.
when they can start changing. Obviously, they're not putting a 6-month-year-old.
A 6-month-year-old?
They're not, yes, a 6-month-year-old. Fuck.
We all heard it.
That's a new age.
Yeah, it is, but you know, it's higher math than you're used to.
Oh, okay.
Forgot to divide by X.
Well, you got to carry the Y.
Oh, true.
Why really is the question.
X and Y.
This is
and what
the
It's
episode
just
we
the
have chosen to
chromosomes, guys.
record.
Come on.
Okay. So Metis can start shifting at 6 months of age.
That's scary as hell.
I believe it is between 6 months and like 3 years. And again, I could be wrong because we've had the holidays, so I did not pick up Guardians of the Cairns for a refresher. But that is a great resource if you were unaware of it. It's like a whole chapter on the
It's
Metis.
still scary as hell to think about an infant that can change to Krynos.
Well, yeah.
But is it an infant at that point?
It's still
6 months. I don't know their growth rate.
They're certainly not doing taxes. You know,
also,
that's
is their growth rate different than a normal human?
not. I mean, insofar as being able to control their shifting, yes.
I'm talking size-wise.
No,
Are they a toddler running around?
Yeah.
yeah.
So a toddler that can just be angry, shift Krynos.
And
Because you took his rattle away.
or just because since when did babies need a reason to be loud and shitty?
Yeah. That's just kind of freaky to think about.
That's just what babies do, man.
Now imagine trying to change a Krynos' diaper.
Just go.
Why would you bother?
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, just pee and poop wherever you want.
Yeah. But here's
Hold them out in
one.
the woods. Like, here, finish what you got going on.
Here's the thought. Imagine being in that sept.
And having an angry toddler.
Krynos.
Angry
crying
toddler.
and screaming.
And
Just at all hours.
But at the same time,
You're trying to heal, you're trying to get some fucking rest. You don't like Metis in the first place. Why hasn't someone smashed this thing with a rock yet? Consider your age, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
at the same time, think of it that way too. That's why they're raised in the sept. Because imagine if it wasn't.
Oh,
It's a veil breach all day long.
Exactly.
Yeah, not only
Yeah.
yeah, but it's just chaos and destruction.
No, throw that motherfucker in a Geico in a stroller and just, you know.
Rolling right
I'm,
through the.
I'm glad you said stroller and not dumpster.
Well, I mean, you could do that too.
Right. I already made the prom night joke. We're fine. But yeah, you're not putting that thing in like a little swingy whatever or a car seat and taking it to Costco. That shit's not happening.
Oh, imagine it like in the ball pit at McDonald's.
Oh my god. I'm still not picturing like a 3-year-old doing a rite of passage.
Well, no, I don't think a 3-year-old would, but maybe 6, maybe 8. And I'm not necessarily condoning that, but it's possible.
Imagine having that in your pack and having to go on like your rite of passage with like a 6 or an 8-year-old.
I'd be pissed.
Also, trying to teach you basic skills like even writing, reading, stuff like that. How pissed off you could get and just flip a switch.
Well, do you bother?
There's still basic knowledge. I think you should.
I mean, if it's a tank,
It
for the
depends on
war,
which tribe.
I think it does. It depends on, I think, also the kid, the level of deformity.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a big one too. I mean, we'll get there, but yeah, the deformity is a big one.
You know, it's. I think it's a complicated issue because it's a thing we've talked about. Off air. I'm not sure how much we've talked about it on air. Is the level of, and I'm gonna sound shitty here, but the level of ignorance in the Garu Nation. And what I mean is like in terms of actual education.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know what you were saying.
Yeah.
You factor in how many of these were black bagged when they were like 14 years old, right? They sprung their first pube and also had a werewolf dream, and now they're done with education.
So up to freshman year of high school.
If that.
If that,
Yeah.
like
How
middle
about freshman
schoolers.
year of junior high?
Yeah, middle
14,
schoolers.
you're going in high school at 14.
I mean, it depends on your birthday,
Yeah.
but
Early changers, late
8th grade,
changers.
9th grade, whatever.
yeah. But
But-
imagine being in 8th grade and being black bagged and just you're done.
It's where your education stopped.
I don't remember much of high school, so sweet. That explains a lot, doesn't it?
Your personal choices.
And notwithstanding, it's, I don't want to say you can barely read and write, but you can probably barely read and write because remember, you're no longer using those skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not necessary.
Or oral history traditions.
Yep. And now, of course, there are exceptions. It's possible for Low Ridge Garu maybe to go to school. However, now you have the issue of what about persistent parents? Mm-hmm. Where did this kid come from? Mm-hmm. Hey, I saw him on the milk jug the other day.
Right.
Isn't he supposed to be dead? Any number of...
I mean, sure, the glasswalkers have their lawyers. They've got their,
Sure,
doctors.
there's a level of school, and I'm sure the glasswalkers do provide a level of education or do their best to accommodate the Garu, and that's great. Yeah, I mean, you need that, but by and large, I think your average Garu, is kind of an idiot.
You look at, like you said, maybe the glasswalkers maybe have that because they're a little bit more on the educational part, but like Geta Fenris, Wendigo.
Yeah.
The
I
Red
think
Talons.
we're also being one-minded.
Well,
on
the
this.
red talons,
We're thinking
hold
common.
on, that's a whole
human.
different boat.
Right.
We're also being a little one-minded. It's human. We're human aspects we're thinking of.
No, it's true.
There's still
Oh, you're absolutely
lupus
right.
aspects and
No, I mean you're 100% correct. Because they do learn more, obviously, and they're not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They learn a lot of things. They learn practical skills. It's just the matter of fact is, sees through the stars doesn't need algebra.
Well, a lot of people don't need algebra.
True.
90%
He doesn't need
of
it
people
harder.
Don't need algebra.
You say
But,
this, a mathematician's going to call in and go, "You sons of bitches!"
That's going to be the least of all the complaints today.
I have not used algebra.
Oh, I use it on the daily, but we won't go there.
But that's
That's you.
but is
Yeah,
that a
it's your
specialized
education
field,
level.
Specialized
or
field,
or,
so
or
yes.
is your job running around murdering people?
Both?
I like this one. What are you, 24?
I don't know. Why would I know? You're the one cloning me.
You know what? Number 22. You're the double deuce.
All right.
That sucks for you.
But yeah,
That's gonna stick.
I mean,
All right.
they live in an oral history tradition. Their knowledge, their lessons are passed down through tales, through stories, through campfires. They're not sitting there reading Shakespeare.
Right.
So it makes sense that their reading would be functional, like they could recognize Otalis or know how to do stuff at a general level, but not like they're certainly not going to sit down and proofread an essay.
And that's true.
But
I
what
mean,
Garu needs to do that?
I was going to say, but they don't need
Exactly.
to.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, yeah. I mean, I'm sure, the reading can extend to a technical manual, so they can learn how to make explosives.
Right.
Sure.
Do they need to diagram sentences? No.
Not really.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, Leah would be so mad at you right now.
Whatever, English was my weakest.
Diagramming sentences
We've heard you
is
speak.
annoying.
Shh.
It's annoying and almost pointless.
But in this thing, to them, it would be pointless.
Oh, completely.
There's no value in that knowledge.
And I
Yeah.
think they get the advantage, the Metis, I think they get that advantage growing up in that sept. They get that knowledge beforehand. Whereas the Lupus or the Hamid, most of them wouldn't get it until their first change.
Well, and that's the thing, when I think we've talked about this before, but when I get a new player
Mhm.
is a Hamid, non-negotiable.
Right. It makes sense.
Yeah,
It's the only way you're gonna be able to get them related, to get them to relate to it.
Exactly. Like I want to play a Lupus. When you have a Lupus form, just be in your Lupus form, because until you can play the nuance, the mentality of that, and really, you just want the extra gnosis, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And you can't have the extra gnosis. That's what freebie points are for. So just spend a lot of time on Lupus and spend your freebie points differently. Same thing, because you're not going to play it differently. Mm-hmm. And that's not a dig on anybody. It's just, how would you know?
Right.
You're brand new.
Can't ring the bell if you don't know.
If you don't know,
how it
there's not even a
functions.
bell.
Yeah, there's no bell.
And what is bell? But in the
As
Metis,
a Lupus, yeah, what is Bell?
Metis is kind of the in-between there. Is the benefit is having grown up the nation.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is having grown in the nation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a catch-22 right there.
Yep, because you get all the access to all this lovely player knowledge you've been holding on to that you can use casually, right?
However.
Yeah, because you grew up here.
But you're still seen as that abomination. You're still seen as...
You're not an abomination. That's something completely
Hey,
different.
you got to stop using that word. That is a different show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're still seen as that obscenity.
There you
As,
go.
as
Cool.
that monster that...
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's still a bad thing.
Right.
You are looked
Right.
down on.
And you're treated like crap largely.
Should be.
You're even the tribes that take in Metis don't always treat them great.
No.
But
And there are varying degrees.
yes, there definitely are. But the thing I was going to say is you have to keep in mind is if you make that Metis character, you now need a backstory for your entire life.
Yeah.
What you did when you were 3 is relevant to a Metis. It's not relevant to a Hamid.
Ooh. I should write one of those.
Well, think about it.
Because
Because,
Porter would have to proofread 37 pages.
right? Because, while you're learning to walk and talk, you're learning the old tongue. You're learning how to speak with spirits. You're learning how to step sideways.
Yeah, you're learning that all real fast.
The people in the sept you live in, you have known your whole life, or at least their whole time at that sept.
Yeah.
It's not you go to a sept and you meet these NPCs and you build a relationship. You already have a relationship with them. Win, lose, or draw. And you need to have all of that in your mind or your heart or your write-up.
Preferably your write-up.
Yeah. Before you start.
Yeah, because those are your aunts and uncles and,
And your shitty neighbor and
Right.
your shitty other neighbor and your...
Very difficult to play Metis.
Well, you need the background.
It's a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
Even if you were to play a Lupus, okay, I need to be a wolf. I need to think like a wolf. How do you think like a Krynos at all times? How do you think like a monster?
At least
Well-
he used the right word. Didn't he?
Yeah.
I almost said it.
Now, and every time there's a new pack of cubs brought in and they're sat down by the fire and they're told, the creation story, or they're having story time and they're hearing Kreger Wormfoe. Think about how many times you have heard that.
So you better fucking know it.
Right.
And you're just like, oh God, not this again.
Right? Suddenly, your life as a Garu is mundane because it's all you've had. It's all you've known. You look at it from that Hammond perspective, and I think, Tom, you said in one of the postmortems that the first story, your character sat on that rooftop just changing forms and taking in how his senses changed and just in wonderment of this amazing world before you.
Oh, I literally sat there in Lupus looking over the edge of the roof, just wagging my tail, enjoying everything.
And, Ghost he was a late changer. He was 19? 18, 19, 20, something?
18.
18.
Yep. Very late ginger.
So,
Yeah, your whole life that you,
You know,
had previous to that
Christian-
now means shit.
right, but Christian the Metis, well, you're sitting there being all so fucking impressed that your 18-year-old ass can now, like, smell better, has been doing this for, like, 17 years. And he's also 18. He's been doing this the whole time. This is not impressive to him. This is mundane. This is just what life is supposed to be.
So get that
So,
in your mindset. That's difficult.
What are some of the deformities or handicaps or...
Yeah, that's the other half of it. That's the other half of the disadvantage.
Yeah.
They're always some kind of deformity.
Yep. Well, you know, it can sometimes be a mental derangement. You have cases like Morgan the Unworthy, who was unable to make a decision and actually has to, he kind of two-faces things.
Like he flips a coin kind of thing.
Yeah.
So no matter what, he's always got a coin on him, and
If he flips a coin, his decisions is hard.
He rolls a die.
Yeah. I've been too on the nose. But, you know, you have, help me out here.
Well, I mean, it can be physical. You can be missing a limb. You can...
Yes,
you know,
Yeah.
hooves, human face and all forms. I don't, my brain...
Hooves. You can get hooves?
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
hooves. Yeah.
But you're...
you could be albino, blind,
Why hoofs? Why would you choose
hairless.
hoofs? You're not a horse.
A third eye.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of it. You look down on it because you have hooves like prey animals.
Oh, okay.
Or even
Yeah, no
antlers,
claws.
I think was too.
Yeah, no claws. You have hoofs
Antlers
now.
was another one.
Yep, antlers.
Horns. Yeah, and
That could be
those
an
are
advantage, though.
In combat, yes, it can.
But also, it's looked at in shame because you're using the tools of prey.
Well, here's one. Here's one for you too. You know, we talk about antlers being one of those choices. So you got a stag set coming out of your dome piece. How did Fianna feel about that?
Oh, they.
That feels a little.
Pretty pissed.
That feels a little like an affront
Yeah.
to stag, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of pissing on their totem.
Yeah, and of course, you know, with the Fianna, they have the most Metis naturally.
Yeah, well,
You know, we don't
I
mean the
wonder
adoption
why.
scenario. And they also treat them the worst
they do treat them the worst.
by far.
I mean,
No, I,
hey,
I, I
yeah.
read it. It was. I read that exact thing in there. Yeah, the Fianna treat them the worst of all tribes.
It's crazy.
Well, they have this kid now that's an affront to Gaia, and it wasn't their fault. They were just trying to drink get laid, so it wasn't their fault.
Sure.
So you have to add on the kid. Well, they were drunk. It didn't count.
Okay. Is that the rule?
Fianna
Wow.
get drunk? Fianna don't get drunk.
Yeah.
We're professional
boy.
drinkers.
Oh boy.
Give you that. So that's
Let's say you see Ghost drink on the regular.
You're right.
no, that's something, you know. Again, the blessing and the curse of it. You know, it's great to start to have that extra knowledge that you can, like, you know, you don't have to pretend not to know shit. You have that greater. I don't know, maybe not greater isn't the word, but you have a more formed relationship with those around you and your sept. But yeah, there are those trade-offs. It's the difficulty dealing with the world. It's the sterility. It's the social biases. It's the standard deformity. It's the people thinking that you are a representative of the worm because you are a spawn of a violation of the litany. There are.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah,
one.
that's a really big one.
Yeah, it's in. I read in there too that a lot of the tribes they considered any of the Metis to be extremely dishonorable if they try and hide their deformity, if they're hiding it in shame. Not if they're hiding it because they're trying to get out in the world or whatever they got to do, but if they're hiding their deformity in shame, it's extremely dishonorable.
Now, I like the human face in all forms.
That was a weird one.
Yeah.
That's actually on one of the
Deformity?
rage cards.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now imagine a lupus with a human face.
You know, I don't want to picture that. That's
Yeah, that's a passer of the Sound Striders. How's that?
Yeah.
So your bite attacks are pretty much all useless.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
It'll hilarious at that point, right?
Yeah, I want to try to bite
You
you.
picture like the dog's body with the
man face.
with the human face. It's
But
got-
think about howls of introduction or
right. Well, I guess that's what Hispo's for.
human
I
face
said
and
all
all.
forms. Why have you been? Thanks for listening to the podcast.
All forms.
All forms.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. So it's just a lupus or a hispo sitting there going, oh,
We're loaded.
right?
Beautiful.
You know?
So, but that all being said, the deformities, the different mindsets, I'm quite curious. Because there are a lot of people who said, I like to play the Metis, or this is my favorite thing to do. How do you get in that mindset? Like, I'm asking, like, the listeners now. How do you personally get in that mindset? How do you take that criticism from other NPCs of the world, because you should be getting it? How does the rest of your pack treat you? I'm quite curious on how, because really, if you're doing the Metis, you should be taking those things as a disadvantage, and not just taking because this is cool.
I think when I have a couple of vacation days saved up, I'm gonna write a Metis right up.
Go for it.
I'd love to hear
Yeah.
it. I'd love to see it. That'd be awesome.
You know?
So if you're a Metis Bonar, you're the lowest of the low, then, huh?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Wow.
But I mean, they have the Bonars again have a different take on.
Well, I'm not saying, I'm talking other tribes looking at
Oh
that
yeah.
specific person. If they're a Metis Bonar, other tribes looking at them.
So yeah, definitely they're the lowest of the low from the outside, but in the Bonar, like they have a different value system for the low of the low.
That's a fair way to put it.
So it's odd.
It's definitely challenging being a medicine. Here's the thing, we talk about it that even the tribes that take them on don't necessarily treat them well.
Right.
And I mean, it's relative because you have, I mean, what's well mean?
Right.
How good is that? They treat me good. How good is that?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
especially in World of Darkness.
Maybe it's just they're verbally abusive all the time. Maybe it's that you're passed up for proper sleeping position or rank or getting a proper mentor. Maybe you've lived in the sept for 5, 10, 15 years and you can't get your basic fucking gifts taught to you because, hey, there's another non-Metis from another sept that gets precedent because they're not a piece of shit Metis.
Right. Right.
And I look at a player who chooses to take on that role. I mean, good for you, but I also have to wonder:
Are you doing it right?
That's where I was getting at. Are you playing it correctly? Cause
and at that point, I think it's also is your storyteller doing it right?
Yeah, that's my question: is the storyteller painting that picture bad enough?
I have referenced. I might not have ever said it here on the podcast. I don't bring it up very often. I had a Metis character originally set in the Summer Rain. Mm-hmm. Smiles Through Sorrows, who was known as Christian. It was a nickname that Dempsey gave him, because only a daft and impotent god would make something so pathetic.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So at least that storyteller was doing it right.
And
See,
Dempsey would use,
and that's a sly insult. Like that's
Thank you.
I mean, nobody coming in from the outside would know that they were insulting and slamming him by calling him his quote name.
Right.
That's kind of genius.
Thank you. But there it is. And you know that obviously the character was going to be Dempsey's favorite punching bag.
Yeah.
On the regular. And, I cut him because that was kind of it. It was
Gotcha.
one note. That
That
was
was
the
it.
whole purpose.
That was his only
Was
purpose.
essentially to make you not like Dead Man Dempsey.
But didn't you have another Metis? Wasn't Kurt a Metis?
Yes, Kurt was a Metis at first.
Okay.
So do Metis get human names unlike the Lupus?
There's nothing stopping them from taking one.
Okay.
It's... And again, I don't know if this happens in most games, and I certainly think that it should. Mm-hmm. We talk about Little Reds.
Yeah.
Which is, again, for those who don't know, is a kinfolk-run dry cleaning service.
Where they launder things.
Yes. and it's tradition around, I guess, my games, the Summer Rain, is you get some new cubs and you take them out to Little Reds, where they get new social security numbers, new birth certificates, new IDs, because someone is looking for them and that's inconvenient.
Right.
So,
They get new papers.
yeah, you want to be, McLovin or Frank Sinatra III or Miles Davies.
You get to pick your own name.
You get to
Miles
pick your name.
Davies.
Davies.
Love it.
It's up to you, And I mean, I did that with you guys. My Virginia group, I had a great one. We were all big fans of Community, and if you're not a fan of Community,
Shame on you.
Well, you should
What's
change.
wrong with you?
Yeah, you should change that. But this joke there's nothing here for you. The character's name was Dean Pelton.
Nice! Nice!
Ding ding. It's got to say something on that ID,
Right.
because inevitably you're going to have to show that to someone,
Yeah.
and it can't be, hey, look, Adam Walsh.
Ooh. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If Adam Walsh is a Garu, he can't have an ID saying he's Adam Walsh.
And I actually took that flaw persistent parents with one storyteller, and he did nothing with it.
Oh, it's such a shame.
And I was looking forward to it.
Storytellers, please, I implore you, my brethren and sister, and I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Just fucking, if you're not gonna use a flaw, if you're gonna ignore it, a merit or a flaw, you should reject it. Mm-hmm. Tell your player no if you're not gonna do anything with it.
And I never took that flaw again because it was like cheating to me.
Yeah. In fact, just give them the freebie points or whatever. Then, if you're not gonna do anything,
Right.
with it. Don't waste a great opportunity. Is my point.
Another topic I wanted to bring up, and I think we would be called out on the Discord if we didn't. The perfect Metis.
Yeah. Okay. This is
The children of Gaia prophecy. Is this what we're talking about?
No. That's something completely different.
Okay.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Ooh, good thing we're not re-recording that one soon.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'd come out hot with that all over again.
All over.
I see. I didn't
Oh,
know that
like
there was.
irresponsible. No.
I didn't know there was another thing about this. Then okay.
No. This is the perfect Metis. This is straight out of Rage Across the Heavens. Mm-hmm. And I think this is. I'm going to say I think this is going to fall back to our Cope's Corner today too.
Okay.
So we're gonna repeat some stuff here. That's fine.
That's fine.
You guys are used to it. Is that
Hunter loses an arm? What?
this happened in?
When did that happen?
Had to. Sorry.
Did something happen during the guilty?
What?
Also, why do I know what the guilty is?
Oh boy.
I'm just
Okay.
okay.
The perfect Metis.
In third edition, also known as revised, part of the meta plot was because you got to remember, third edition ended with the apocalypse.
Okay.
That shit is done.
Right.
Right. The world has ended.
The old Dunyan rings.
But then it got rewound.
That's a different story.
Different story. Yeah. We did that too.
Yeah, it's not. Yes, but
Yes.
we're not there yet.
Okay.
So part of the meta plot was the appearance of a red star in the umbral sky, which was known as Anthelios, the Eye of the Worm. And as time moved on, that star started getting closer.
And then it came into the realm.
Yes, it did.
What the fuck?
And
Yeah.
Anthelios' appearance,
Did a lot of things.
it coincided with quite a few things. If you've ever played or heard of Hunter the Reckoning, that's when the imbued got their powers. That's when the dead started to rise. That marked the end of all Garu births. Mm-hmm. Any child born after that star, stillborn.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It marked the beginning of the actual end times. And that was the perfect Metis. It was the last Garu born. A perfect Metis.
So no deformities
A Metis without any deformities.
that they knew of.
That they could discern.
Okay.
And this child was prophesized to be the leader of the Garu nation, to see them through the apocalypse. And this child was prophesized to be the worm's champion, to see them through the apocalypse.
So both sides are claiming it.
Yes.
Yes.
And different parts of both sides.
Okay.
So different parts. Okay, so there's like 4 categories here because we got 2 on the guy inside. We got the pro and the con on the guy inside, and then the pro and the con on the worm side. So there's it's a pundit square. Who wants to help this child and who wants to hurt this child?
Rage Across the Heavens is partially a book game, and if you're new, I don't care for book games. But it introduced the Metis child, and in the story of the book, you become the custodians of this child.
And
Is the book, as far as the book game, are you supposed to be helping or destroying?
That's up to you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's that pro or concept.
And you have to deal with that choice. Because you certainly, let's say this does happen to you, you can't stay in your sept.
No.
Because while Swing Bird and Jonas might believe in their hearts that this child is the key to saving Gaia,
Whiplash might not.
Whiplash will eat that baby. And you will not stop him.
So
Butchers of the
now-
Shadows is going to trick you into bringing him bread and ranch dressing.
Oh, I could see that.
But yeah, so now you are the custodian of the perfect Metis,
No thanks. I don't want that
and
responsibility.
you are on the run.
And suddenly, you're cornered by like 5 packs of black spirals who take a knee before you
Holy shit.
and go, "You hold the child.
We will defend you to
Yeah.
our last.
Come with us, we'll keep you safe." And they fucking mean it.
Because you are the guardians of the perfect Metis. Therefore,
And
Well, that's
now,
a hell of a conundrum you're in.
Yes.
Exactly. It's a huge conundrum. Because now, you are being helped by spirals. Now you're worm tainted.
no.
And even if you're not,
Eventually.
Eventually.
your guy and brothers will believe it.
Oh, well, they see you rolling with
Exactly.
spirals, like, but...
And that's what I mean. Like, oh, he's rolling with spirals, he's worm tainted. Get him.
But what are you going to do? Because
Exactly.
that's your backup.
Eh.
I mean,
I don't
now
like
the
this game.
Gaians want to kill you even more.
So, I mean, that's the perfect Metis. And, when you follow that all the way to Apocalypse, there's a couple scenarios where the perfect
Yeah.
Metis has grown up just ridiculous quickly. And I believe he's always on the worm side, isn't
Yeah.
he? And I believe in every
Kind of
scenario.
hard not to be when the guy inside's not really accepting him.
Well, but half the guy inside is.
Half is.
Right, but all of the worm side is...
No.
No.
Oh, I thought...
No.
No,
Oh,
that's-
'cause there
that's
is
why
the
she
con.
went by 4
Okay, there
things.
is the
Yeah,
con.
Yeah.
there's 4
Yeah.
different groups.
Half spirals don't want them, and half do, and then half the Garu do want them, and
Well,
half
there's a hell of a lot more spirals than Garo, so...
possibly.
But it really all
It's
comes
hard not to go that side.
who's right.
But I mean, you could run into more black spirals that are like, we're having baby back ribs for dinner. And,
Barbecue
you,
sauce.
and then
Wow.
It's the 4th time we've done that.
and then your defenders go and fight them, and you fuck off because you got the baby that you're protecting. So like it's just
Play both sides at that point.
Like, it's a fucked up situation. I had the Metis child running around in one of my continuities. He was actually, I did like a lone wolf and cub thing. Mm-hmm. Where Rowan Blood Tears was the lone custodian of the Metis child.
nice.
He just fucking wandered, keeping the baby safe.
Yeah.
Wandered forever.
Well,
I mean,
Never-
it's kind
never
of
stop and
it's
think.
kind of a Mandalorian
kind of
situation.
I guess we have to use that now instead of lone wolf and cub.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean,
It's relevant.
Yeah, fine.
it's the same story. It's basically is the
It
same
really
fucking
is.
story.
They stole that from you too?
No,
No.
Lone Wolf and Cub is a fucking classic. So Samurai, we'll talk about it later.
No, I thought you were talking about your story.
Oh
No.
no.
No,
No, I
but
just thought Rowan would make a good.
yeah, that's a nifty.
Yeah.
That's a nifty take on it.
Yeah, but the thing is, obviously, is with Werewolf 20 came the rewinding of canon.
So
So there is no perfect Metis because there is no Enthelios.
yes, and
Which is no
Yet.
Hunter the Reckoning, but that's a different story. We
Maybe.
did that episode before.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be a Hunter of the Reckoning either. Although you can easily bypass that by saying, well, they were wrong about it being Enthelios. That was just a coincidence.
so
But you can get away with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
basically, if you're gonna play a Metis, it's gonna have a deformity.
Yes, and you need to work that out with your storyteller
Yeah.
for everybody's sake. And you have to play it.
Right?
Because, again, it's like playing a lupus as a homage just to get the extra gnosis. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, stop copping out.
It's cheating. You are hideous or broken or crazy or a combination thereof.
Right.
And you're going to get treated like crap all the time. And I salute you for doing it. But more to the point, I salute your storyteller if he's making you go through it. Because it's doing it properly. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, you don't have to. Anyone can choose to do something half-assed. But ring the
Shame
bell.
on the storyteller for that.
Yeah, ring the bell. Why are you deciding to not be your best? As a storyteller, I personally think I have an obligation to you guys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at my character. Obviously, we've mentioned how many times he's missing an arm. Someone meets Hunter for the first time and doesn't see he has an arm, they automatically assume he's a Metis. All I gotta do is show him the scar tissue, and it's, okay, alright.
But you're largely treated like crap from Jump Street.
Right.
Because, this pack will wander into a cairn because they're the backup. The elders, someone called for backup, the elders send you guys, and they look at you and they think they get ripped off.
Yeah.
And he's the alpha.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we've proven that
I know we've proven ourselves, but it's the introductions.
It's the point, yeah.
These people don't. I mean, how many times have you been called tripod or pogo or hops or
I still call him tripod when I get mad at him.
Right.
And that's the point. And I'm not a Metis.
Yeah.
So
even the perception,
right,
makes you garbage.
Exactly. So I'm looked down on instantly. So that was kind of my point of having the question for some of the listeners who want to play Metis, or who have someone in their group who play the Metis. Because I'm curious on if you guys are doing it right. How are you doing it?
Well, I would say it's going to be a much more challenging social game. Starting from the beginning, it's probably got to be pretty rewarding.
Yeah.
Because you're able to lean on some of that player knowledge, or that that knowledge.
But
base
it's
that they would
gonna
have.
get old.
I'm sure it will, or it would. My first character was a Metis, but my storyteller was an idiot, and I was 13, so I was an idiot. So I wasn't playing a Metis. I had I had fangs in all forms. So what that allowed me to do was it gave me an extra dice of intimidation and let me do Krynos bite damage in every form, despite the fact that the fangs were proportional to my form.
So your
Right.
storyteller.
So you just went and got the reward. You just went through a book. Oh, there's something fun to use, and just that was you.
It doesn't even sound like it was in a book. It sounds like you made that up.
I don't remember if he pulled it out of a book or we talked about it and came up with something. I don't remember which.
Either
But
way,
I remember it's ridiculous and it's cheating.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a deformity.
That's
Here's a Grainclave. I mean,
yeah, which I also started with because.
Oh, I'm sure you did. Because why not?
Because I didn't know any better.
Yeah, because why not? Here's all the toys. I'm going to use them all.
fangs in all forms that are proportional to your mouth size and everything. That's a club kid with some prosthetics.
Yeah, and
Like,
strength
come
plus
on.
1 bite damage. It was crap, but
That's somebody who had a really bizarro dentist.
that's again this was a couple 13, 14-year-olds, and here's just a quick one for everybody. Whatever idea you had when you came up, you were wrong.
Just wrong.
Revise it. If you're still using something that you've been using, if you're sitting there as a
God.
listener, and you're like about our age, in the early 100,000s.
Okay.
Damn vampires.
Hey, shh. Enough out of you.
Like if you're out there going, yeah, I've played since first edition, second edition. You've got some years under you, you've got some experience.
Revisit those ideas.
And you're clinging on to ideas that you've been using since those days. It's time to revise those ideas because they weren't. I know you think they're amazing. They're not amazing.
No.
You were 13. Nothing you do at 13 is amazing.
Yeah, that's just a point of life.
It is. It's that's just friendly advice.
That's why
as a teenager you were an idiot.
Don't-
So was everyone at this table. Every teenager is an idiot.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even denying it.
They don't let 13-year-olds get tattoos for a reason.
I almost wish they did, though.
No.
That would be a great identifier.
Mistake sound.
Yes.
but you know what though, that makes sense, and I appreciate that advice because you said it. Like Yeah, your first character was
Terrible.
Oh,
An Ahram Metis get a Fenris
right.
with fangs in all forms, and it really was a Grandclave because I didn't understand Gnosis or Gnosis requirements.
Wow.
So I just put the 5 points in the background and said, well, I want a Grandclave.
there you go.
Not realizing that level and notices mattered.
So you recognize that it was a bullshit thing.
Oh, it was terrible. I just didn't know any better, though.
Right.
Right.
And now that you
we've
do-
made mistakes. We've had terrible characters.
Oh, yeah.
You just are way too free with admitting them. Like my
I will admit my failures.
My
'cause-
mistake towns, like they stay folded up in my pocket.
I think the point is that if they haven't admitted, maybe it's time to.
Well, it's not admitting it. It's it
Revised
should be it should be like, even if it just has to be you, in a Word document. You don't have to make it public. You don't have to talk about it. Just go back and take a look.
Yeah, especially if it's something you're still using.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way, all right?
If we were still having that same Xylo in our story.
Right, that same character, 3 stories in, and it was never called this, but looking back, this is what this was.
Okay.
Took a Bane Clave off an enemy and was dual-wielding Claves.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
3 stories in.
I think it was 3. Might have been 2.
Oh.
How stupid is that?
Right.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Right. I mean, forget the
How much
implications.
fun did you have, though?
I'm
Oh,
sure.
wow,
I'm
bet.
sure I had fun, but I'm not attacking. I'm not attacking 13-year-old. I'm laughing at
yeah.
13-year-old
Right.
Porter because it's funny.
I'm not even
not a-
attacking 13-year-old Porter.
Right. Like it's not an attack on 13. It's an attack on the hypothetical older Porter who's still using 13-year-old Porter's character. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's the. You look at that character. That was Xylo kills the foe.
But not like you know him.
But
Yeah.
not like I don't. But
Yeah,
I
if
get
it was the same as now, I don't think we'd take him serious.
No. And over the years, what did I do? I revised that character, which was totally unnecessary. Mm-hmm. And for a long time, he was just gone.
Right.
But when I started this new setting, I wanted him to represent everything that came before. It was the nod, it was the salute to everything that came before that game you're playing today. Mm-hmm. And he was originally, once I revised him, to Xylo kills the foe, rends the heart of the Hatebringer, the Thurge Hamid get a Fenris,
Not.
right? Who, yes, had a Grandclave.
Sure.
But
Earned
as
it.
Yep.
I was gonna say, but he earned it.
Yep.
He's a Jarl of a Sept.
And eventually had a Jarlhammer because he became a Jarl, but he wasn't a combatant. He was a mentor figure, and he was written to die in the first chapter.
Yeah.
So he had purpose.
Yeah, there was a point to it. You revise that idea because the original idea was bad. It's okay to go and revise those. But we got a little off base there. Mm-hmm. Playing a Metis character can be really interesting. It can be really challenging. They have some really cool gifts. And I think they're best played when you have a storyteller who's not afraid to give you shit for being a Metis. Because that gives you so much potential for growth in changing that character. Either the guy who learns to transcend the bigotry and the bullshit around him, or the guy who maybe gives into it and falls to the worm.
Yeah.
Because that shit happens.
Ooh, I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. Think about it. I mean, this person is getting shit on
Oh yeah,
Daily.
from Jump Street.
which they kind of I mean,
You almost said they kind of deserved it.
when I
Whoa!
and I almost did, but it's not what I meant.
But see,
But the
we're not
sins
going
of
to
the
attack you for that
parents.
matter because that's part of the nation.
But that's
So
what I'm saying.
you're feeding into it, there you go.
According to all the books and all the tribes and in W20, that's what it says. That's how the governing nation treats them.
They are a byproduct of a sin.
Yes.
So therefore,
Essentially, it's incest. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's a thing that,
Yeah.
if on a spiritual level,
If you
It's
if you go on a
incest.
spiritual level, that makes sense. Yes.
it's against Gaia's will. The kids are deformed, they're sterile. Maybe biologically they're not, but spiritually, this is incest.
Yeah.
yeah.
We bring up, like you said, the Fianna treat them the worst.
And they have the most of them.
And they have the most. But I remember reading why they treat them the worst.
Because they're ashamed.
It was let me try and remember exactly what I said.
Don't just flip the note. It's cool.
They believe that the deformed body reflects the deformed spirit.
Oh, that's very Fiona.
Yeah.
It is.
That's actually, I didn't know that quote. And that's so Fiona.
Okay, so is it possible to take 2 deformities with a Metis, or just 1?
I don't see why not.
No, it is possible. I think it's I think there's an extra flaw for them that they can do it.
Okay.
Again, I'd look to Guardians of the Cairns. It might be in the regular section, but I'd look to Guardians of the Cairns.
Okay.
Because that has a great section on Metis life through Accept, a few extra gifts, and I believe merits and flaws.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do this right up now.
I'm looking forward to it.
Go
I'm
for
quite
it.
curious of what you got.
I'm down with the Metis character, and I think it's important. Like I said, it's important that.
I mean, I can't let go
No,
of that.
no, I'm not asking you.
No, please don't let go.
But I just.
Like
I
badass.
said, like I said, just if you're gonna play at Metis, I hope your storyteller is giving your character shit, and I hope you're good with that because that's an important part of it.
And like,
It'll cheapen the experience otherwise. I feel.
my thing is like the
Which is kind of what I'm afraid of other people, how they play them.
I am too.
well, my question is like, pack members. If you have a Metis in your pack,
How do you... Yeah, exactly.
how do you respect that person, being, entity, character?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, why are they in your pack?
You see, I gotta almost pause it here and go. This is the kind of thing that I think we're going to see a lot more of in season 2 of the podcast. This open-ended discussion like this,
Okay.
because I mean, there are so many ways to respond to this topic. Mm-hmm. There are so many different views. There's so many players out there who have different experiences playing Metis, and what it means to them, or how their packs have handled it, or how their elders have handled it, how they've won a tribe over or a sept over, or have completely lost that sept's respect. This is the kind of thing I want to see more of. There isn't one answer, but there are probably thousands of fucking stories.
And
we
like,
want to hear them.
Yeah, please.
and like, if you do respect your pack mate, that's a Metis.
What did they do to earn that respect?
And how awful is it? Like, are they fighting the good fight to win the respect of the nation for their pack member? Are they just saying, that's your shit, you deal with it? Or, like, how does that look from the internal view?
No, absolutely. And to add to that, let's say Thomas A. Ghost was a Metis. Does your pack stand by and watch Dead Man Dempsey kick you around the sept for fun?
Probably.
I think I'll say no on that because of our backstory. Between Hunter and Ghost, they came up together. They did the rite of passage together. They started
But
together.
again,
But yeah, that's my point.
But
if
again,
it wasn't that, then he would probably whatever. The Metis is getting
Metis-
kicked around.
a
whatever.
Metis is at the cairn.
Yeah, so you guys wouldn't come up together.
Yeah, our whole story would be completely different.
Yeah, then damn, yeah, you're right. Good point.
Oh, I guarantee the whole pack would just watch me get kicked around.
I mean, probably not Echo, but...
I mean, you'd be the new Christian.
Yeah. Echo probably wouldn't because of her background, but yes.
But again...
Right. But
No,
but again, there's a dynamic and there's something interesting there. There's something that you can use.
Yeah.
In a role playing scenario to up the game. There's drama there.
And
there's
I
room
think,
to grow.
I think, now that I'm thinking about it, Echo would be unintentionally insulting.
Oh, I think I see where you're going.
Be like, it's okay, little buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put me down that way.
Trying to be nice.
But just condescend you into oblivion.
Yep,
Yeah.
I could see that.
But,
That's good. No, that's
See?
good. And
Awesome job, Joey.
thank you.
Yeah, that put some thoughts in there. Yeah.
and here's a thought. It's not true, but I don't know if you know it's true. I don't know if you know
Okay.
that. And I'm using air quotes here because we are not recording these. There's not video here.
I'm like, why, yes, we are recording.
Yeah, it's like we're not recording video. So you guys have not encountered a Metis, I don't think.
Yes, we have.
That's why I used air quotes, because I know there's one you have, but I don't know if you know there's one you have.
I don't remember his name, but we went. It was a story. He was I don't remember the name, but he had 2 different colored eyes, And then Xylo said he's clearly a Metis. Just leave him alone. I'd have to look up the story and find out which one was, but
That doesn't sound right to me.
Doesn't even. I don't remember, so don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Katie's having
That's
a
why
fever
that's why I'm looking over to Tom, because I have negative recollection of that.
I'll look at my notes and find out which story it was.
Danny's
but yeah.
having a fever dream.
Like, and I'm thinking, and I know the answer. Like, where were you ever with Xylo in a place that wasn't in the Sept? But I mean, I know that answer, but it was one time, and there weren't any Metis there because it was all Tom's family.
Yeah, there was no Metis there.
I think there were like 3 other Garu, but they weren't.
We'll save it for off air, but yeah.
Okay.
I feel pretty strong that's because Hannibal Mengde.
He's a Metis?
Yes.
Oh.
He hides it, which is why I wasn't sure if you know.
Well, you did actually, I think, say it.
I might have. but-
Out of character. Like,
Maybe.
I don't know. But
Either way.
no.
But either way,
So-
my point is you guys really haven't had shit for interaction with them.
Right.
And so that'll be interesting to see what happens as that changes. Because I assure you it will.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It just happens to be the way that is.
Okay. So, anything else? Any other thoughts?
I actually had a quick question.
Okay.
So, Metis are born in the Krynos form, and we know that between Hamed and Lupus can't quote unquote soak or heal in your breed form. So if Metis are born in Krynos, can they still heal in Krynos form?
Yeah, their healing works like any other Garus, but they can't soak silver in their breed form.
Okay, so like if Hamed
Yeah,
can soak in
Right,
silver in their breed form, but not anything else, kind of thing.
right.
Okay.
Just like the lupus can. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the trade-off: is you can still heal, thank fuck, in your war
Yeah.
form.
You know?
Because
But-
That would be awful.
Right?
That's what I mean.
But
If
you're
they're-
fucked for silver everywhere.
Okay.
Is a Metis.
That's
Okay.
fine.
And
All right, that makes
reputation and status.
Yeah.
And
And, you know,
Quite a few flaws there.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a bad time.
deformity.
Right. Well, I was looking for a spot to squeeze that question in there, but I was like,
Yeah, you put it in the final bit because
that works.
I think it's about that time.
Yep.
It's getting close, and Joey, I think we've got a Cook's Corner. That
We do.
It relates to what I said earlier.
We do. So this is from, I'm going to butcher this name, Saragde. He is
Saragde?
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 Okay.
All right, give us a phonetic spelling how to say it, buddy.
Yeah. So, long-time listener, first-time commenter. The question is, have you read the tribe novels or any of the storybooks? And have they ever affected or impacted your storytelling?
Well, I never read the tribal novels. I had a hard time finding them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't easy to find in my neck of the woods for sure. I got my hands on Wendigo Spiral, which is the final one. Never opened it because it's the tribal novels or I guess it's the canon apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
So what the fuck is the point of picking up the last chapter? Like I wasn't gonna I've never even opened it. What's the point?
I don't blame you.
And I don't want to say interest in it fell through the cracks over the years, but I mean, I'm sure I could find them online right now if I wanted to, but I don't want to spend the money to do that, and I don't have the time to read it, so I'm not gonna anyway.
Right. We've got trade-offs in our lives, and it's either read the tribal novels or do the podcast.
Right? So I do
Pick one.
podcast. Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah,
No.
we get enough irons in the fire, there's just not time.
Gotta do enough reading for this.
Point.
And some of the other novels I've read. When Will You Rage? I love When Will You Rage, even though it's got some first edition weirdness.
Yeah, well.
Like some stuff you gotta you enjoy the story for the story and not for it being canon. Because dude, it's just not.
It's
Nope,
just not.
Not
no.
that. Sam Hyatt's White Howler buddy and his 20-year-old clone that he's gonna body swap.
Yes.
Nope.
What the hell?
Pass.
And then there's Breathe Deeply.
Breathe Deeply's rad as shit.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I ripped that off for a story once.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's fine.
Eh.
I don't see a problem there.
I mean, I ripped off insofar as it's the Amazon, you gotta go there for a thing.
Right.
When Will You Rage 2, what I've read was good. I like Drums Around the Fire. Apocalypse Noir by Bill Bridges. It's my fucking jam in that book.
I really like Drums Around the Fire.
And Drums is good. As far as affecting, that's about as far as it went. You know, you might get an idea for a story, but it's not. I can't think of anything specific other than breathe deeply, painting a cool enough picture of the Amazon that I want to set something there.
Right. It really did.
Yeah.
Well, Saragde, thanks for the question. Thanks for writing in.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's,
Yeah. Keep the questions coming.
right? And he's a recent member.
Recent, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what's been happening today. We've been in studio. But possibly the most recent member of our Discord, so
Yeah.
thank you for joining.
Hey. Yeah, welcome.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the digital set.
That's right.
See? Write in, ask a question, get a shout out. It's
Yep.
that easy.
Well, I did answer, largely, too.
Well, sometimes
That's
sometimes
kinda the
an
important
answer.
Well, sometimes it's middling and nonsensical, but... look,
But that's all right.
look, man, we put the ball on the tee, okay?
I was gonna make a T-ball reference.
So that is going to do it for, I guess, the second episode of Season 2.
And remember, Metis, not Métis.
You said it right.
You still won't let it go.
Nope.
Hey,
It's,
it's important.
It is.
You know, and remember, the more you know.
You know, there's plenty out there to be mad about. Separate the stuff from the stuff. So, on behalf of everyone here at Submarine Studio, we want to thank you so much for listening. Your support means the world to us. You know where to go if you want to help support. We've got our Patreon. We've got our PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
We've got word of mouth. We've got, rate us, help. And until next time, you take care of each other and keep howling.